Mesdames and messieurs, welcome to Secrets in the Elephant Room, where the lights are low, the stories are rich, and the conversation never stops. Grab a seat, darling. The show is about to begin.
We're back. After a short episode of chaos, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Oh
We
my
should probably
goodness.
tell them, Payton. Like, by now, they think we're probably insane, but that's
I know.
okay. But what's our elephant in the room today?
Our elephant this week is having to do with working careers and how our work becomes unhealthy addictions for us. So, we are both people who have like very addictive personalities. If we fall in love with something, we fall in love with it hard. Or if we start getting into a pattern, we are really hard at breaking those patterns. And our work is one of our biggest, most problematic addictions for both of us. We have very big workaholic tendencies.
So, everybody, welcome to Workaholics Anonymous. Oh my goodness. Ugh, work, work, work. You know what? I feel like I've been busy with something since I've been in high school, and it's never slowed down since. Even when I was unemployed. Like, it's always been so hectic because when you don't have a job, it is a job to find a job.
Yep. And it's like nonstop, no matter what. I think I think the last time I had like an actual break was when I got my tonsillectomy this summer, and I literally was not allowed to do anything, but I was stressing because our house literally flooded the week before, so it was not even like a break.
Life doesn't want you to take a break.
I know. It's like, just kidding, Peyton. You have 2 weeks off of work. Well, we're gonna make it some of the wildest, scariest 2 weeks of your life.
Yeah, that was scary, even just me watching you go through that. It's like I felt terrible, but yeah, life just cannot catch a break with you.
You neither. Like, I think it seriously, we do have an addiction to something always happening because I can't remember the last time that we both could actually sit down and do nothing for a little bit.
I mean, I think we like doom scroll
That's
sometimes.
problematic though, because that's not actually healing or doing anything. Doom scroll is another way of constantly having something going.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. And my problem is too, which is so unhealthy, is well, it can be unhealthy. I know for some people it's just like their process, but like I feel like I work really well under stressful situations or in high stress situations. Like I just think in the line of work I'm in, like there's always a new deadline, there's always a quota going up, there's always something happening, and you can't catch a break. Like even if you're like super successful, there's always something more to do. And that's
Yeah.
just like corporate America in general. And I think like I don't know. I always find myself complaining about a busy calendar, but when I look at it,
Maybe we should explain what we do for a living. Like you don't have to say like where you work or what you do exactly, but just so people get the scope of how wild our careers can be at times.
actually I could just start from the beginning and then they'll understand that all my jobs I've had have been in very stressful industries. So,
Mhm.
Delaney's Workaholic Anonymous, right? She started work at a
Hi, I'm Delaney.
yeah. Hi, I'm Delaney, and I have a problem. I, I overwork myself. It started from the beginning. Bloop. That's like my flashback noise.
Oh,
Bloop. Delaney in high school. What did she do? Well, actually, she got a job in like 3 days because her dad was like, get a job. And I was like, yes, sir. And so it was right after COVID or right before COVID. I started working as a pizza cook for a bar restaurant, which then progressed into me becoming a waitress and a bartender. And I was also a bartender at another bar as well. One of my dad's bars. That was kind of more part time, but in the restaurant industry, for anyone who's worked and has been a server or waitress, you are always on constant pressure, especially during like when it's jam
Freaking
packed
sucks.
rush
Yeah.
hour and you're the only waitress on staff, which at this smaller restaurant that was the case sometimes. You're constantly running around, but secretly I loved it. Like if I wasn't busy, I always felt like something was wrong. And I just like I enjoyed running around dealing with conflict. Like I just could do that. Like I could run things quick, but I also think it was due to the validation that I would get. I would get so many people praising me for the work I was doing, and I realize this about me now. In my work life, I need constant validation that I'm
Yeah.
doing the right thing or I'm on the right track. I need something, otherwise I automatically assume someone's mad at me every
I
single time.
I feel that so epically. So, especially right now. So right now what I am is I was long-term subbing as an English teacher. And then the reason I was doing that is because I held the drama director position at this high school as well as the speech and debate coach. But with the drama thing, I'm like, if people are not walking out of those shows being like, oh my God, this is one of the best high school production, and it's high school. It's not that deep. It is not like I am on like professional theater. Like eventually I want to be there, but right now being so young, if people are not walking out of that auditorium being like, "Oh my God, that's one of the best productions I've ever seen." I'm like, "It failed. I failed.
Automatic L.
I I suck. Not the kids. They didn't do anything wrong. It's me."
It's me.
Yeah. I'm like, my kids did so great. All of my kids made it to state for speech, but none of them made them to all state. And I was like, this is my fault. My fault.
Yeah, I should have done this, and
I
this.
know. It's so bad.
And in my line of work now, rejection is constant. I'm in tech sales. So constantly when you're in sales, you're always getting rejected in some way. Whether it's a hard no or someone just chewing. I had a lady chew me out on the phone the other day. Thinking I was a scam, which I was like,
Oh,
whoa. Yeah, that was like a whole ordeal, but yeah, I mean, especially when you're calling people too, like it's just constant rejection. So to know that I'm doing the right thing, it like is really important to me. Even like, I don't know, like I know like there's sometimes I have these deep feelings where I feel like I'm constantly behind because I'm new to my role. I've only been in my role now like almost 3 months, barely. I haven't even hit my 3 months yet. And I'm constantly thinking I have this pressure to catch up to where people are at now. And we had a sales professional come in. His name's Katie. He's great. And he really opened my eyes to thinking more of never compare yourself to people above you or below you. Only compare yourself to how you were yesterday. And honestly, that's really opened my eyes a lot recently, like about my workaholic tendencies, because I always am like, I have to catch up. I have to catch up. I'm so behind. I'm so behind. It's a
yeah.
constant thing that I'm saying all the time. You can ask any of my friends I get on the phone with. They're like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing work. I'm behind. I'm
It's
behind.
9 p.m. on a freaking Friday night, Delaney.
Oh, I have to. I'm behind. Like it's always this like constant pressure, but it's also like I'm young and I have the energy and the time to put in to lay a great foundation because sales is all about effort, and if you're putting in extra effort, it's going to show off eventually. I just haven't seen the results yet. But that's also another, I guess, pressure that comes with okay, it like feeds into my workaholic tendency. But I had a really eye-opening conversation too with my coworker. Shout out Pipeline Pirates. I love them so much. They're awesome. She got promoted. She's great. Yeah, she got promoted recently. She is awesome. And she sat me down and she was like, she's like, you know, if you think about it, you might not need to like stop working overtime. And I just looked at her like, what? And she gave me that validation of you're already impressing people, so take a deep breath. We just need to teach you how to work more effectively rather than, you know what I mean? Like, because tasks right now, because I'm new, take me longer to understand and take me longer automatically to do or figure out, like prospecting. Like, I know how to prospect, it just takes me longer to understand what's going on in an account because I haven't been here. And I haven't really been, like, I've been in the tech sales industry already, but it was a whole different ball game with my last company I was at before the one I'm at now. So I think she made a point where I think I wouldn't overwork or be a workaholic so hard if I just learned how to work more efficiently. But it's also hard to break that pattern, you know? And I
Yeah.
mean, again, like, I might say I'm busy, but if I look at my calendar right now, I'm busy like for the middle of March. There's just part of me that secretly loves it. And
Yeah.
like, I'm glad my calendar's filled.
I know. So like when I was actually like teaching my own class, it was really hard because I like had this love for like spending so much time lesson planning. And then I'd feel like I got like nothing out of it. Like the students didn't get it or like I wasn't doing well. And I had one of the teachers actually like pull me aside and he was like, "Kid, they threw you into the fucking deep end and said swim. And you're an infant trying to swim." And he's like, "At least you're keeping your head above water. Like, you're doing a great job." But then, with the like addiction to having your schedule be so busy, we had a snow day this week. Like, it was just really wild weather that happened. And I was looking at my music director for the musical, and he was like, "I hate this so much." And I was like, "Yeah, me too, but why do you hate this?" And he was like, "Because now I don't get to be here, and I plan to be here, and I plan to be here all the time." And it's like, even he's like addicted to having somewhere to be and something to do. That like I went home that night and it took me so long. And you said doom scrolling earlier as like relaxing. Absolutely not. That was my getaway from having to find something to entertain myself or like do with myself besides like sitting around trying to figure out more work stuff to be doing. And like actually having a moment to have to sit down and be like, "Okay, I have all of these hobbies, I have all these things to fill my time, and I have this like creative paralysis because I have set this time aside for me to be doing my job because I need to be filling my time with my work." And it's just wild.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's definitely, it's just hard to balance. Especially when you enjoy what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Because if you get that much joy from your career, which I hope everyone does. Like, I hope eventually everyone, I know some people can't afford to do that, but
Yep.
I hope eventually everyone figures out, you know, this is what I love to do. It is so hard to forget at that point, oh, well, even if I enjoy doing this task, like it's still at the end of the day, it's work, you know?
Yep.
And I think that's hard for me too because there's a lot of the parts of what I do that I enjoy doing. And like I just think I have a really good work culture that I'm in right now. So it's like very encouraging and I love going to work. But then I don't know, like eventually your social battery just gets drained. And in my line of work, it can't. Like you
Yep.
have to you have to be on top of it, you know?
Oh, same with mine. Like, even if it does get drained, you just have to get over it because you're dealing with high schoolers who A, some will tear you to shreds, and B, some just like don't deserve your like negative energy. Like when I was first thinking of this episode, I was thinking about all the awful jobs that I have. And right now, you and I are both blessed to be in positions where we're like, okay, I don't dread going to work. I actually kind of enjoy some of what I'm doing. And yeah, there's some parts where we're like, this freaking sucks. Like, some days I go to work and I'm like, I really don't want to have to do X, Y, or Z. But it's like, I never wake up and I'm like, "Ugh, I really don't want to have to go to work." Whereas, like, what was it? Last summer, you and I both were like, I literally don't want to go to this job. Like, it is so awful.
Last summer.
When you were
Oh,
working at the last company and when I was working at my last company.
this was last fall. I didn't get that job till the fall, but yeah, I it's hard because when you go from a place where it's just not as good, you know? You just assume that, once you're in a spot at a company who is very well known and has very like you love your coworkers, you love the energy, it like makes you want to go to work all the time. It really just I don't know, it's hard to not let yourself get carried away in it because at the end of the day, I know I always compare eventually to, hey, at least it's not like this. I need to suck it up and keep going. You know? Like even if I get thrown into all these situations and I have extra trainings to do and I have all this stuff that like gets thrown on me that I'm not aware of and now I am aware of. Like shifting my mindset has definitely helped of like I'm glad to be here. I enjoy what I'm doing, but it's also like again the workaholic tendency. It's hard for me to like take a step back and realize, you know, like I'm not doing the right thing, which is where burnout symptoms, um, brain rotting on weekends. I love a good brain rot. I love doing nothing for a day. I think
Mhm.
every once in a while it can be healthy, to just shut down and, not want to do anything. But when that becomes constant, like if I get done with work on a Friday and I physically and mentally cannot do anything and I have to just sit there and unwind with a movie because that's all I can handle, when
Yep.
that happens consistently, that's not okay. Something's
Hmm.
wrong. Whether that's the way I'm processing things, like planning out my day, maybe I need to do it in a better way that I can have the time to do things and understand things better. Instead of one of the things I end up doing is saying, I want to prioritize this and this. I'll save this for the weekend. I will save this for after work.
Yep.
No. Like if I have trainings, of course I want to do it after work because it's training. It's not what I actually do. But at the end of the day, like if every once in a while, I'm going to be honest, I think it's okay because sometimes you just need that extra time, especially when I need to learn something. It takes me a minute. I like to write things down. I
Yep.
like to make sure I really understand before I end a training, Because at the end of the day, that's what it's there for, to make me better and to understand something in a better light. But if I do that consistently, it was what I was doing, I was having those weekends or those Fridays where I would go limp. I just couldn't do anything. I couldn't think about anything. And at first I ignore it because I'm like, oh, one burnout, that's fine. But then it's a second one, and then it's a
Yeah.
third one, and then it's a fourth one. And then eventually I was like, when I had that conversation with B, I was like, you know what? You're right. Like something about this is not healthy. And I just always thought it was. And now I think I'm starting to realize like that symptom is not always like okay. Um Even like the little things like at the end of the day if I can say, "Oh, I forgot lunch. I'm going to eat now." No.
Yeah.
You have a lunch period for a reason. Eat.
So this is something I'm gonna admit, and this is really awful, and you can yell at me like full on. My days start, I have to be at the school at 7:25 to start preparing for my day, and then school starts at 7:55. Well, then I have a set lunch period, which is the same as the kids, and oftentimes I don't bring lunch Because I'm gonna because and I'm gonna tell you this. I have the teaching job and then I have my extra stuff, which is the extracurriculars, which is the stuff that I actually love and actually want to be doing. So I spend my lunchtime working on the stuff that I actually want to be doing throughout my day, which is like working on the speech stuff, planning and building stuff for the shows and things like that. But then we move on, have the rest of the school day, and then I don't get to go home because then I may have like speech rehearsals. Especially right now in the dead of speech season, I have so many rehearsals because it's individuals. So I have 12 different programs I'm running with that. And then I have like maybe an hour to go do something, get something else done. And then I have rehearsal for 2.5 hours. So I usually don't eat besides breakfast in the morning. I don't eat until like 5 or 6 p.m. My like real meal of the day is like dinner.
How?
Because I'm so busy and I'd rather be doing anything else, and I'm so focused on doing these things that I actually want to be doing that I forget to prioritize myself. And my burnout, I can tell that I'm getting burned out when I'm a very big, like, things need to be clean and organized person. But I know that my burnout happens when things are a mess. And right now, everything's kind of a mess. You will be proud to know I like live in my car during show seasons, but my car got cleaned yesterday. It got all set up all nicely. I have not been living in my brand new car. I have been keeping that clean and organized. But like that is a big thing for my burnout. I forget to eat. Like don't make time for cleaning, and my self-care becomes my doom scrolling or like sitting around doing brain rot stuff rather than the stuff that makes me feel good and feel like a human being.
Yeah, no, I don't even know how you have the, because then the thing is too with forgetting to eat lunch or choosing and to keep working, like even if you eat while you're working, it's
It's
like your brain,
mindless eating. There's no intention behind it.
yeah, your brain is just like it's not shutting off. And like I like know there's those working methods where I forgot what it's called. KD explained it. It's like 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off.
Yep.
Sometimes I can get into a grind where it's like 2 to 3 hours and I'm fine and then I need a break. But I really want to start honing in on that with like the being efficient and like this is what I need to do. And then so I can be afforded those breaks, because at the end of the day, I have a job to do. But if I'm forgetting that lunchtime or if I don't get that period, by the end of the day, again, one, you're starving. You have nothing to burn off other than fumes. Like, you're just
Yep.
stuck in this bad cycle. And you're not, like, nothing you do is going to help you at that point. So, I definitely think pay and eat lunch. Make
It's
it
hard to
adult
remember.
lunchable. Adult Lunchables, prep it on Sunday, bring it to work.
I know.
Like those aren't like a full ass meal, so it doesn't take that long, but you're snacking. And you know what? I love snack culture. I'm a snacker. Like that's another problem too, is if I
Oh,
snack too much.
well, and here's my other thing is like I just like I said I don't take care of things and I don't take care of myself super well when I get into those like I'm grinding moments. I went to rehearsal on Friday and I had not eaten, and we have early outs on Friday. So I got to leave a little bit early. I still had a couple of speech meetings so we get out at 12:55, and then I had meetings until like 2:30, and then I went to a store nearby and came back for rehearsal at 3:30. But I was there a little bit before because a couple of my students were still there and we were still chatting about things. And I come back with a container full of berries and kiwis and stuff, a bag of the Smart Pop white cheddar popcorn, and then a thing of golden Oreos. And they were like, wow, Peyton's back at it with the director dinners. And I was like, this is not a thing that they actually have talked about. This is not something that they're like, oh, Peyton doesn't like actually eat and have she just has girl dinners. And I was like, this is not a thing. And then a few others later on came in and they were like, oh, director dinners are back on. And I was like, holy shit. Even my students are like, yeah, Peyton's just like a hot fucking mess.
Yeah, when other people start to like notice that it's like, oh, I know what I'm doing is wrong, but it's so hard to break it. But you just got to do it. Like it's so hard, especially when you're new. It's just so
Mhm.
hard to not want to prioritize those things. Um, it just is because you want to start off your career on the right foot, and it's just I don't know. It's just so hard.
It becomes crazy when it becomes self-sacrificing, is the
Yeah.
big thing. Is like I get into the mode where I'm just like, this needs to get done and I'm gonna prioritize this over anything else.
Yeah, yeah. I've also noticed too the procrastinating thing. Like, if save work for the weekend, it takes me 10 times as long to do it because I'm dreading it. I'm not like focused. I'm not energetic. I'm not locked in. I'm like, I want to do this, this, and this weekend. I can't. I have to do this. I have to do this. No, you
Mhm.
don't. Like, if you prioritize your time correctly and figure it out, and I will say this, it's a trial and error. So for anyone who's also like, I relate to these things so much, we are with you and we support you, and we're going to support you in this learning journey because it is a learning curve.
Yeah.
Like,
We are babies trying to figure it out. We still have like no fucking clue what we're
yeah,
doing.
we're in our early, like really early 20s. Like, I literally just graduated college in freaking May of last year. It's almost 1 year I'm out of college. I
Isn't
like,
that a weird feeling? Like, as soon as I hit my 1 year, I was like, there's no way.
yeah, it's
And
coming
I'm
up
coming
quick.
up on two.
Yeah, it's coming up quick in May, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I freaking 21, almost 22 years old, and I've been out of college a whole year. I've already had one career, like one job, and then moved to another. I've already had two jobs in the corporate world. I've been through a really bad unemployment job hunting phase. Like,
I mean, at least it's kind of in your field. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
yeah. Well, to be fair, that's a whole other problem. Like, as much as I'm confident and I like what I do, it's also that existential of, is doing what I'm doing really something I want to do for the rest of my life? Is this something I enjoy? That's a whole other feat of figuring out, you know?
Yeah,
And to figure it out, you have to just do the job. And then something will click or something won't. And then you have to figure it out from there. And so, like,
yeah.
and then the pressure of being good at what you do is also a pressure that I feel because, again, we're both very much perfectionists. So we
Mhm.
want to be the very best right away. Well, you know what? When you haven't done something for like barely a couple months, like, I'm sorry, natural born talent out the window. Like,
Oh my
it's you're a
gosh.
baby learning baby steps.
Well, and like, here's my thing. What I'm currently doing was never on my fucking radar to begin with. So I got my degree in English and theater, and I was like, okay, I don't know where I want to go after this. These are two things that I love, but I don't know what I want my life to look like yet. And right now I'm just saving money, applying for grad school, still trying to figure it out, still loving education. But then I never wanted to teach high school. And I loved my students. I loved, like, there were parts of it that I really loved, but I definitely cannot teach high school another year. Like, the actual classroom experience, not for me. But the weird part of this is the theater part of it. I could do that for the rest of my life. I could direct these kids for the rest of my life. But I think it's just because I love the directing aspect, not because I love the high school directing aspect. High school directing aspect fucking sucks because I'm not just the director. I'm the scenic designer, I'm the lighting designer, I'm the costume designer. I'm doing everything as one person, which with my control issues is great. My perfectionist issues is not, which creates a new issue with like being a workaholic. But like the weird balance of like I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life, but I know I can't stop doing all of these different things, so I'm gonna add 100 things on my plate to see what I like and what I don't like. makes you just not like anything, and you're like, but I still need to do all this work because I've committed to all of this work.
And in a weird way too, I feel like burnout, honestly, in a weird way, makes me feel like a failure and plays into the part of, am I good enough to do what I'm doing now? Do I
Yeah.
actually like what I'm doing now? And here's why, right? So we have a subtopic in here called the guilt of actually resting, right? And this isn't even just resting healthily. This is for burnout right now.
Mhm.
Burnout, you have all these doubts because you're like, you weren't here, and then in an instant, okay, I'm here. I am burnt out. I can't even think about anything else. Like, is it because the work I'm doing is too much, or is it because of my pattern of how I'm working? It is
Mhm.
such a fine line that burnout really just knocks your self-esteem, and I don't think I've heard about this like enough, how much burnout knocks down your self-esteem and your confidence a couple pegs, because even some of the best people, still experience burnout. It's just, I feel like they just cracked the code of how they work, how what is the most efficient way of working in their industry, like what is
Yeah.
their process, they take the time for themselves, but then I just feel like it plays, at least for me right now. Like, I literally had a whole mental breakdown to my family about, I was just working and I had a phone call with my family and I was working after hours, and they were like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "I think I enjoy what I'm doing, but I'm so exhausted and I feel like everything takes me so long right now to figure out." And
Yep.
I just feel like, is it because I'm not enjoying it, or is it because the task is hard, or is it because I'm just not good enough? Like what is it? And again, like, my dad had to make me realize, like, you're still learning. Like, you sometimes won't understand a role till 6 months to a year. And that's just the fact. That's the reality. Some people will get it naturally, but then natural talent only takes people so far when you have to develop your skills.
Mhm.
It's just is such an interesting topic to me. And then, or not rotting, resting. I almost said rotting because that's what I call it, and that's a bad habit. Resting
Yep.
in general. If I'm doing nothing, I always am constantly thinking, oh, I should have been doing this. It would have helped me set up my week. I should have done this. It would have helped me with this. Like, it's like
Always.
guilt tripping myself. I'm putting that extra pressure on myself for no reason. Like, my manager didn't ask me to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so lucky right now. I have such a supporting manager. Like, she's
Mhm.
really been trying to help me a lot and understanding like how to work efficiently. And the support that she gives is really awesome of her. And I'm lucky for that because, I think a manager also having a good one really plays a big role in starting out new. And I'm lucky in that regard. But it's also like, why am I putting these extra pressures on myself? Oh, it's because I'm a high achiever. Oh, it's because I have high
Yep.
expectations and goals for me. I'm goal oriented. No, it's because you're constantly addicted to this stress and you think that it's okay. And you know what? Sometimes it's okay to admit you're not okay, and that's not okay. So
Yep.
this is a safe space, people. You can admit that it's not okay, because I'm slowly realizing that as I've started.
Yeah, so like one of the things that has been really hard, so I am no longer long-term subbing. I'm no longer teaching my own class. And what I'm doing now is I am an ELL assistant, which means I support English language learners in some classrooms. But then I also sub in some other classrooms where I'll just cover if teachers are gone. And it is so hard for me going from running my own classroom, having to be on top of everything, to just sitting back and waiting for someone to need something from me. Because, like, most of my daytime job now is like, I'm just sitting there waiting for them to need me. I can't just, I can be like, hey, can I help you? But I can only say that so many times before they're like, what the fuck is this lady on? Like, what is wrong with her? Whereas, like, I'm like, oh, I should be working on something else. But even just in my position, I need to learn how to calm down, sit back, and wait to be needed, which is so hard. And then when it comes time for me to actually sit down and rest and relax, I'm like, oh, but there are all these side projects and side things that I want to be doing. So I'm going to throw on extra work for me to be adding these. And then my like passions become work rather than things that I love and that I'm doing for fun. Like, I love crocheting, but now I'm like, oh, I need to make these for these people. I'm doing this for this thing. And instead of like enjoying it, I'm like making work out of it because I'm so addicted to it being work rather than restful. And then, yeah, it becomes a thing where you turn the things that are supposed to be rest and things that you love into even more work for you to be doing.
And honestly, the fact that we can talk about this now and understand where we're going wrong, just between us, not for anyone else. Like if some of these things resonate with you, we're not saying what you're doing is like the worst thing you should be doing and you need to change right now. But the fact of the matter is
right now.
yeah, we're not fucking changing. Like we're still talking about it. And I freaking got burnout the other day. Like literally did what I just said I don't want to do anymore. I think from now on I'm going to put it into account because I can recognize certain things are not okay anymore. And having this mindset shift as well as, you know, I'm resting and I'm taking my time to recharge so I can come back stronger in the tasks I want to do. And if I shift my mindset to, you know what, I could have done this to set myself up for this. Okay, well, I'm going to rest now to set myself up to be recharged to do this more efficiently. It's like a huge thing, a mindset shift, you know, and like I'm still figuring out exactly what realistic things I like to do as self-care. You know, again, I like to wind down with a great TV show or movie, but then I also realize some nights I need no screens. I have to shut all of it off. I usually don't just sit and read. I sat and read one day, I think it was last Tuesday, and it was great. Like,
isn't it so freaking healing to have like no. This is why, like, I have such a hard time because I'm not a night owl, I'm not an early bird, but, like, I love when I have a reason to be up when it's dead of night and there's nothing going on, it's dead silent, and I just get to enjoy existence without having to be somewhere or having to do something.
it is great
It is
when you
so
don't feel
freeing.
guilty for it.
I still feel guilty because then I'm like, oh, I should be sleeping because if I'm not sleeping, then tomorrow I'm going to be exhausted when I have to go work with the kids on this scene that I really need to get into. And yeah, it's like a never ending cycle. So, like, finding those moments where, like, you can figure out what your self care and what your, like, rest actually is. Like, last night, I was working on work stuff, but it didn't feel like work stuff. I put together this stupid little popsicle stand thing,
It's
and I
great.
sat
What are you
around
talking
and I
about?
drank wine with Shelby while I built this, and it was very restful, very relaxing. I feel very healed, but I was doing something for work, so it's like a weird in-between mix thing of, like, finding what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, and you know what? This is Workaholics Anonymous. We're going through almost the 12 steps of AA right now. Like, step one, I'm gonna read
Did
these
you
off.
look it up?
Yes, I
Let's
did
hear
because
it.
I think this is great. Honesty. You know what? Addiction causes a level of denial that can be quite challenging for onlookers to believe. No matter how much people push someone into recovery, unless they accept that there's a problem, this is key, people. Accepting the problem, overcoming it can be possible. It's okay. I'm rewording this a little bit because this is like obviously for drugs and alcohol, and we do not have a like this is just not this is Workaholics Anonymous, people. Yeah, because then the next one's faith. For all the faithful people, that's great. But I think honesty, being honest with yourself that this is a problem and surrendering to there's a better way to do this. We're just gonna figure it out. It's like the acceptance part of it. It's great. I don't want to read off all 12 because like a lot of this is getting into like religion-based stuff, and I don't think Workaholics Anonymous needs to be, you know.
Can I funny story about like actual thing that happened with me at therapy though? So I'm in therapy. I haven't gotten in a hot minute just because I don't have time because I'm a workaholic. There, I
Same,
said it.
girl. Same.
There, I said it. I just haven't had
What did
time
you
to go in
forgot
for
to
a
say it?
session. Huh?
You forgot to say it. Got to do your AA introduction.
Hi, I'm Peyton.
Hi,
There you
Peyton.
go. I'm a workaholic.
Okay, continue.
So, my funny story is I was at therapy one day and I ran late because I was busy working with students on something and I completely lost track of the time. And I go into her office and I break down crying because I was just so exhausted. It was such a long week. We had competition coming up and I just like I love my kids. I love them so much. But at this point in time, I was like, I don't want to see their faces because I need to be alone for a little bit. And I broke down crying in her office and I was like, I love them so much and I want to give so much, but I'm so exhausted. I'm so burnt out. And I just keep signing up to do more and more things. I want everything that I do for them to be amazing. I want them to have such a good experience because, like, although I loved our high school director, we didn't always have the best experience. And we didn't even really have like an actual theater experience. It wasn't until college that I was like, oh, this is what theater is supposed to be like. And I had done community theater stuff, but it was just like a whole nother level and I loved it. And so I wanted to do so much. And she sat me down and we were like sitting there talking for a little bit and she was like, I have a book that I want you to read. She's like, you are a diagnosed workaholic. And I was like, that's an actual diagnosis? And she was like, no, Peyton, please, like, let's be so real right now. And she gave me this book and it was like what to do when you're a workaholic. And she was like, I need you to read that so that we can talk about it throughout your sessions because it is a real thing and you have a real addiction going on here. And I was like, damn, my therapist just like, she got me. It was like, yep, needed this.
Yeah. It's just like when someone has a drug problem and you have a, what is it called? Not interrogation. What is it when they're all waiting and then they come in the room and they're like, you have a problem. There's an episode in How I Met Your Mother where they kept doing it and now I can't think of it.
Oh my gosh, we were literally talking about this the other day in rehearsal because one of the girls had 6 monsters in one day. Intervention!
Oh, that's what it's called. I was Googling it right now. I was like, this is going to bother the frick out of me if I don't Google
Intervention.
Intervention. Yeah, How I Met Your Mother, they have that whole episode where they intervent everyone for everything because they're addicted. They're addicted to interventions, and so they have to have an intervention about being addicted to interventions. Yep, exactly. And you know what? Honestly, too, like, I don't even know exactly. I'm still figuring out my self-care journey of what I like to do and what I don't like to do to recharge myself and unwind. It could be cool to take a quiz on that, too. I just Googled that, too, earlier.
Oh, you can take quizzes on that?
Yeah, I think I just said, is there a quiz to finding out what rest and self-care is best for you?
Oh, find one and send a link real quick.
There's a Healthline one. There's a Dr. Sandra Dalton Smith rest quiz.
So what we're going to be doing is, the reason she looked that up is we are actually going to be taking a Signs You Might Be a Workaholic quiz to see what percentage we actually are. So do you want to start on that quiz together?
You know what's going to be so funny? If we take this Are You a Workaholic quiz and we come out as not. And we had this whole episode planned.
No, I think it's so funny. That's why we're doing it at the end.
This is going to stress me out. Are you going to read these questions? We should probably read these.
We can read them out loud, too.
All right.
I prefer to do most things rather than ask for help.
Yes.
Always. I am so bad. It's so bad. I actually asked my assistant director, Shelby, for help on costume stuff because one of my costume designers just flaked. And I was like, this is exactly why I don't ask people to do things. I'm just going to do it all myself. And yeah, it was so bad.
I put often because I've actually gotten better. Because I used to not. I used to hate asking people for help. But I feel like in order to get better at what I do now, I have to learn from other people constantly. Yep. Like I have to always be evolving for the next best thing, you know? So yep. That's why I've gotten a lot better. And I have a good team that lets me do so. I get impatient when I have to wait for someone else or when something takes too long, always.
Yep.
I would love to, actually, I'm going to say often. I can be patient when I want to be. And Payne gave me a look. I'm saying always. Never mind, I take it back.
I always seem to be in a hurry and racing against the clock. I don't think I do that super often, but there are definitely times where I'm feeling the pressure.
I put often because I need to learn how to work efficiently. Like I'm still figuring out. I have tried so many different methods to break down my day, and I'm still doing that to figure out what works best for me. So I'm saying often. I get irritated when I am interrupted while I'm in the middle of something.
Always.
Never. You know what? Maybe I could say I get distracted easily. Like, so that's why it's never like a problem. So, and I literally shut my Slack down if I'm like grinding out. I'm like, nope, I can't talk to people right now. So I'm putting never.
It gets so bad when I'm in the middle of working on a scene with a kid and another kid comes to ask me a question of something that has nothing to do with what I'm currently working on. I'm like, get out of my face. Who cares? I stay busy and keep many irons in the fire.
I already put always.
I know. I was talking about that earlier. I just keep creating things to keep working on.
Holy shit, this quiz is long. This is good though. It's detailed. I find myself doing 2 or 3 things at one time, such as eating lunch or writing a memo while talking on the phone. Often.
Yeah, often.
See, we are understanding we have a problem. That's the first step in AA. Identify you have a problem.
I overcommit myself by biting off more than I can chew.
Often. I have gotten better. I used to be an always, but I've gotten better, I feel like, with that.
I feel like I can end up chewing it down, but it's always more than what can fit. Is what I will say.
That's valid. That's an interesting way to put it. I feel guilty when I am not working on something.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep. You know, it could be an ADHD thing too now that I realize it. With like the constant need to be having to do something.
Okay, but I got tested for ADHD and they said, no, you're dyslexic.
I've never gotten tested for ADHD. I could have
Watch you be dyslexic.
Honestly, I could see that. I can't spell crap.
I mean, yeah, they were like, dyslexia is just the ugly cousin to ADHD, so...
Great.
It's important that I see concrete results of what I do.
Always.
Always.
I am more interested in the final result of my work rather than the process.
Mine is sometimes.
I'm going to agree with sometimes. I think the process in my job is very important to get the final result.
I think I love rehearsals over the final show. I like the working through of it more than I like seeing the end of it. Things just never seem to move. What?
No, keep going. Sorry, I didn't know which turn. My brain shut down for a minute.
Oh, you're good.
Go.
Things just never seem to move fast enough or get done fast enough for me. I really feel this. I'm gonna have to say often because this week I scheduled my rehearsal for Friday. We were supposed to get a lot more done. And then my set building yesterday was supposed to get a lot more done.
Yep. That was me all this last week as well for my job. And now I have to prioritize different things in order for them to be more efficient. And I'm always working on my efficiency. It's a long battle for me. I lose my temper when things don't go my way or work out for me. I'll say sometimes I don't really get pissed.
I don't let it come out in my actions though.
Yeah, that's the... I will sit and suffer in silence.
Yeah.
In my brain.
We were talking about this, me and one of my students, and she was out of all of our arts teachers, you are the one that I have never seen fly off the handle. You are the one who keeps your cool no matter what you're feeling. And so, for this one, I'm going to say never. because I really do. I am a very confrontational person. I will say what I'm thinking or feeling, but I will not do it in a professional setting where, like, with these kids, I'll be like, if things are not working out, I'll breathe and I'll cry later.
So real.
Or I'll cry in front of them and guilt them, but I won't lose my temper.
I think I work myself up and then I
Mhm.
journal about it. But I think I haven't been journaling as often, so it just bubbles over, which is never good. Don't do that, people.
Yeah.
Talk about your feelings. Is it your go?
Yeah. I ask the same question over again after I've already been given the answer once.
I put often, but it's also because I'm learning a new role at a new company. Well, it's not a new role, but it's a different process. And sometimes I forget. I'm just a forgetful person sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I did sometimes because it's not that I need reminded, but sometimes I'll be like, I'll ask a question to remind people that it's a thing they should be doing.
That's valid. I spend a lot of time mentally planning and thinking about future events while turning out the here and now. I put always
Always.
because this is a problem too, is over planning. Like if you're over
Mm-hmm.
planning, you take time away from actually doing a task. And I don't think it's been a problem as of right now, but I think it could develop into a problem. So now that I know it's a thing, I'm going to watch for that.
You know, I'm diagnosed with severe anxiety. That is literally what my anxiety is about, is like playing over ideas of how things should turn out and while they're turning out. And yeah, so it's something that replays in my mind constantly. You ready for this one, Delaney?
Yeah.
I find myself continuing to work after my coworkers have called it quits.
Often.
Always.
Okay,
You need to put always.
changing it. I'm changing it. You're
I
right.
put sometimes because I have worked really hard since my last job to be like, okay, if I'm not clocked in, I'm not emotionally giving anything anymore to that. But like with my job, I kind of have to always be thinking about it. Like in a production standpoint, I'm always kind of thinking about what I'm doing, but I'm not like there sitting around in the theater for like hours and hours and hours working on things. Like sometimes, yeah, but not like crazy amount.
Yeah, we've already talked about it. I do it.
No.
I get angry when people don't meet my standards of perfection. I'm gonna say no. I don't think
I'm
so.
like in between sometimes and often.
In your role, it's apparent, so it makes sense.
Yeah, because like if I have to give a no more than like twice, I lose it. And it's not like a perfection thing. It's like okay, are you actually like, these kids want perfection so bad. I'm gonna click sometimes. That like I'm giving them stuff to be better, but they're not taking it, and I'm like, okay, but you want to be better. You want to be perfect, but I'm telling you how to be better and you're not even absorbing it. I get upset when I'm in situations where I cannot be in control.
Often. I'm also a go with the flow type of person though, so that's why
Mm-hmm.
I'm like not really, but yes. I think I have a problem with when I am in control and I do things I am in control in, I think about the end result too much.
Yep.
I think about the answer the prospect is going to give me versus like if I put in the number of dials I need to, I'm upping my chances and I need to shift my mindset to that. And I understand that now.
Yeah. I put often because we have like 2 weeks during the rehearsal process where it's music and choreo, so I sit there and do nothing, and I'm like losing my marbles because I can't do anything.
I tend to put myself under pressure from self-imposed deadlines when I work always.
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 It's hard for me to relax when I'm not working. Often.
I think it just depends if I have plans like with friends. Yeah, but if I'm resting for myself, then it is a yes. If I'm with other people,
Yeah.
then it's a no. So maybe I'll say sometimes. Sometimes. I spend more time working than socializing with friends or on hobbies or leisure activities. Ooh, this is
I've kind of made it a point to like mix those things.
yeah, same here.
So I think I should still say often because I'm still prioritizing the work in the situations with my friends and stuff.
Yeah. I'll say I want to say sometimes, but I'm going to put often just to be realistic. But I always make time. I'm the type actually no, I'm putting sometimes cuz I'm always the type of person to make time, you know? Like
I dive into projects to get a head start before all the phases have been finalized.
I'll put
No, I'm a planner. I would rather have everything planned out before I hop in.
I feel like I'm maybe sometimes. I'm not sure actually for this one. I just put sometimes, I think. I get upset with myself for making even the smallest mistake always.
I think I've accepted the fact that I'm human and I'm fallible, so I put often. Because I still am like, oh, that was stupid. I'm dumb. But I think not all the time, because sometimes I'll be like, yeah, it's okay. I'm human. It happens.
I can laugh at it, but then realistically it will also keep me up at night and I will still think about it 2 days later. and then I think after I talk about it with a coworker or a manager and I'm like, hey, I made this mistake, and they're like, oh, that's funny, we've all been there. Then
Yeah.
it like resonates with me. But before that I'm like, oh, it's fine, I'm human. And then the next 3 days I'm like, oh my God, why'd I do that?
I put more thought, time, and energy into my work than I do my relationships with loved ones and friends sometimes.
I want to say never, but I'll say sometimes because yeah, I could make it apparent to reach out more, but I'm working, so then I don't. So
Mhm.
that is, yeah, sometimes. I forget, ignore, or minimize celebrations such as birthdays, reunions, anniversaries, or holidays. Never. Not that bad.
Sometimes, for me,
What holidays are you overworking yourself on? Your birthday?
I minimize celebrations
Oh.
a
Oh, I
lot.
guess.
Like, anytime I need to celebrate for something, I'm like, oh, but it's not a big deal when it is a big deal. And I love making big deals out of those things, and I don't because I'm prioritizing something else.
I love to celebrate, but I also minimize some things, but it's not due to work, I guess. It's just
Well,
because.
no, this is not saying due to work. It's just
Oh,
saying I forget,
fine. I'll
ignore,
say
minimize.
sometimes. This quiz is making me realize more things about myself.
I make important decisions before I have all the facts and a chance to think them through.
I'll say sometimes I have to think, I have to act before I think. So I'm going to say
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes. All right, ready to submit?
Yep, I'm going to click the button.
Oh, what's your score?
I scored a 71.
I scored a 70.
I'm considered highly workaholic. I'm
This
headed
could
towards
mean you're
burnout.
headed towards burnout, and new research suggests that family members may be experiencing emotional repercussions as well.
Man, so we were right. We do have a problem.
We are workaholics.
Dang. That was eye-opening. This is kind of funny. Hold on. To end on
Choose an ocean.
a lighter note, yeah, we're gonna do this nice nature quiz to see how we should relax.
Okay, just so you know, we just cut out like 20 minutes of recording because Delaney was like, "Oh, let's do this quiz." And we were going through it, and some of the questions are good, and then they started getting traumatizing. Like they wanted us to trauma dump on you guys.
Yeah, so Delaney had a great idea of like, oh, we should figure out how we unwind, and I looked it up, and that was the first quiz, and I said, oh, well, it's by a doctor, we'll just go with it. And then, yeah.
By a doctor, Delaney.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do a cute little BuzzFeed quiz instead.
Which Delaney found to redeem herself. Choose some flowers. Oh my God, I love roses. Oh wait, those are my favorite flower. My mom's favorite, lilies. No, I want those pink ones in the bottom right corner. I don't know what they are, but they're
Those
cute.
look like tulips.
Maybe I'm turning into a tulip gal.
Maybe we'll have to go to the tulip festival.
Tulip time.
I think I'm going with the top left, the like orange ones.
Are they marigolds?
I think so.
Choose a tree.
Oh, there's a weeping willow.
That's the one I was like gonna go for right away.
That's all I need.
But then I feel like I like this oak in the middle, like middle.
Yeah, I was also looking at the oak.
Choose some mountains. Oh, these are gorgeous. I want to go hiking.
Bottom center with the lake in the middle
That's
of it.
what I was gonna go for, but I also really like the red, like the one with the sunset. And it's no, I want that one. I'm picking this.
That
one.
looks like fall.
Choose a baby animal. Oh.
Please say that again.
To choose a baby animal?
How excited you got.
A cow and a baby pig. Oh my God, I want a baby cow and a baby pig.
I'm going with the lioness.
I don't want to pick one. He said I'm going to pick one. Well, the piggy. No, I want the cow. I want the cow. Choose a leaf.
I'm going with the red one.
Great minds think alike. Choose a butterfly. Oh, I love monarchs, actually, for their symbolism.
I have a monarch tattooed on my wrist.
I went for monarch, too. Choose a meadow. Okay, I'm gonna say one that I think you're gonna pick. And here's why. All right? I think you're gonna pick the top left because it looks like the Pride and Prejudice field.
Top right?
No,
You mean?
with the fence or without the fence?
With the fence.
I was gonna say without the fence.
With the fence looks more like the Pride and Prejudice one.
Okay, well, either
yes,
or.
that is why I'm choosing it.
I know which one I chose.
Which one?
Do you want to take a guess?
Is it the one with the lavender? And
Yeah.
the pink sky?
Yes. Choose a sky. Ooh, bottom left.
Top center. Light blue streaky clouds.
Oh, choose a sunset. That's a giraffe.
I'm going with the
Bottom center.
left.
Mine was curl up and read a book.
Mine is going on a walk. It's too cold for that right now.
I like mine. I've been
Good for
doing
you.
that.
Mine is go on a walk, which I do need to go on a walk. As soon as it's nice out, I want to be walking regularly again.
Yes. Well, moral of the story, so to wrap up this episode on a light note, identify the problem, and then you can find the solution.
Take some time to relax. Take some time for yourself. Working, it's great. It pays the bills, but honestly, in the end, like, you need to be able to pause and breathe and take some time for yourself. And apparently, Delaney's got to read a book, and I got to go for a walk, which sounds delightful, actually.
Does sound really delightful. And at the end of the day, we're only put on this earth to do one thing. Do you know what that thing is, Pan?
If you say party, I swear to God.
No, I was going to say live. All right. What a great way to end the episode. Party.
All right, darlings. That's the show.
Now cue the con.
Maybe next time don't try to traumatize me.